What's up, Internet? This is Dave. And when you hear a voice before the music starts, that you're in for a very special treat. Typically, that involves audio problems. So, before we bombard your ears with this episode, which is Sesame Street Fighter, which is a game. We'll talk about it. You'll hear in a little bit if you stick around. But I wanted to let you know that this is the episode in January that we recorded that essentially made me want to go back to one a week because I recorded the episode on the internal mic. So internal mic strikes back. And I didn't feel like it was good enough to publish. And we kind of went back and forth on whether or not to publish it on Patreon. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, maybe this would be a nice little extra for Patreon donors. Patreon.com/TADPOG. So Tyler had a surprise vacation spring up. And he had to leave, and we were not able to record an episode, a new episode for this week, and we did not want you to go without. So, begrudgingly, I have delved back into TADPOG archives and pulled out the Sesame Street Fighter episode that we recorded back in January of this year. It sounds bad, so there's your warning. The audio quality is nowhere near where I want it or need it to be. So I want to apologize right up front and let you know what you're in for. If that kind of thing bothers you and you want to skip out, no hard feelings. Hope we'll catch you on the next episode. But this is just something that we had to do in order to stay on our production schedule. So I hope you understand, and please enjoy Sesame Street Fighter. Oh, also, I did clean up the audio as best I could, and special thanks to Overseas Philip, who offered several suggestions to try to help clean the audio up. It still sounds like hot garbage, but it's better than it sounded when it was recorded raw. So, okay, I'll get the fuck out of here. You guys enjoy, and we'll catch you later.
You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to another TADPOG podcast.
Yeah, that was fanciful.
TADPOG
I like that. TADPOG podcast. You're better at that than I am.
Where we talk about two old guys talk about old games.
Let's just talk about ourselves.
All right.
You want to do that? Oh man, how long can you keep this up? Do you think?
I'm not quite sure. Till about now.
Oh yeah!
So,
wow, mid sentence.
Yeah.
You're back.
Play old games, and this week, Dave, you found this game and told me about it.
I found it on the TADPOG Nation Facebook group.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. All right.
This was a game that was recommended to us by Addison. So I saw it. I saw the post. I was like, yeah, this game is Sesame Street Fighter, which is a mashup of Sesame Street and Street Fighter. And I thought, yeah, Addison knows us, and I think this image is funny. I'll check out the game.
I don't think he has a title.
I don't think so either, but I think he also suggested a long time ago, or maybe a month or so ago, a dating sim where your boyfriend's a horse.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm on board.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got two great suggestions. Yeah.
Addison Webb, I'm sure he gets it all the time then. So, like,
what's the get?
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man Addison? That's, wow. That's not even trying, I feel
No,
like.
it's not. I can think of something along those lines.
Sensational Addison? I'm trying to think of, like, the web of Spider-Man.
Amazing Addison.
Amazing Spider-Man. Sensational Spider-Man.
Ultimate.
Yeah, there's so many. Just regular Spider-Man. That was a comic too.
We'll just call you Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Well, Spider-Man told us about this.
Thanks for the recommendation, Spider-Man. Yeah. Can I tell you how hard it was to get into Spider-Man comics as a kid? Because I had that's so confusing to have 5 fucking titles for a character.
I remember him being a very wholesome school lad.
Yeah.
Fighting the Sandman.
School, yeah. I think those are my favorite Spider-Man comics when he's in high school. Yeah, I like those a lot. Other than the new stuff that Dan Slott wrote, where he's actually doing science stuff. He's got a job at a laboratory. They're working on fantastical science inventions. So all that was kind of fun.
Because I was reading an article today about the 15 worst things that ever happened to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's talking about the most recent incarnation of him as he's very Iron Man-esque.
I haven't read any Spider-Man comics in a long time. So how does he Iron Man-esque? Just his costume?
He's a billionaire who owns some sort of large technology business, and he jet sets around the world.
Oh,
but
that does sound like Iron Man.
One article that I read today, so it could be just completely off the mark. I don't know.
I like to think that this is a real deep alternate timeline where the only Marvel movie that took off was Iron Man, and then everything after it just failed miserably. And Marvel just took all their comics and turned them into Iron Man.
The Amazing Iron Spider-Man.
Yes.
Because one of them, they kind of got me, because I was reading it, and because there's the one where he changes bodies with Doc Ock.
Yeah.
And they get access to each other's memories when they do this.
Okay.
So he is locked up somewhere in Doc Ock's body, experiences memories, and at one point Doc Ock and Aunt May are engaged, so he has to remember what it's like to have sex with Aunt May.
So I'm glad that they explored that.
Yeah, me too. That's a realm that needed to be looked into.
I'm bummed out with I don't have a great body, but I would be super bummed out if I woke up in Dr. Octopus's body.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how he looked in modern comics. They probably gritty rebooted him up, I'm sure. But I remember Doc Ock from comics when I was a kid, and he was just a chubby dude with robotic arms on his back.
The yellow and green suit and the page boy bowl.
Yeah. He looked like the fourth Stooge or something. Larry, Moe, Curly, and Ock.
Larry, Moe, Curly, Shimp, and Octavius. Well, before we get into Sesame Street Fighter, I also just want to say Sesame Fighter Street.
That does, we could do that.
Whichever.
That's the Ultimate Edition.
I have a few things for us to try. One, I bought it a long time ago because I saw them, I think, on Facebook, and then went out and got some, ate a few, and then meant to make them for us. But so frozen, in your grocer's freezer section, deep fried Twinkies.
Wait, I don't understand. This is a frozen. This what sitting in front of me in a bowl, a very nice wooden bowl, is. This is a deep fried Twinkie, and you prepared this
from frozen.
This was
it's a double deep fried Twinkie.
This was at the grocery store. Okay, I've never had one of these before, so this would be my first experience.
Like we used to call them the cheesesteaks over at Nick's Bar and Grill. They look like cheesecocks.
Cheesecocks. I guess on the underside of this, there's some white liquid oozing out of it.
That's what mine looks like.
Yeah.
It's got treads and then multiple holes on the bottom.
Yikes. You have lived an adventurous life. I don't know whether to be jealous or grateful.
A little bit of both.
All right, so you're eating yours with a spoon?
I was going to. It's cooled down enough now.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to.
So the fact that it's in a bowl and that we have spoons it begs the question: have you ever eaten this with ice cream?
No, I haven't, but I bet it would be good with ice cream. Good with some vanilla ice cream.
All right. So, you ready? Are we going to eat this?
I cannot get Melissa to try these no matter what. I brought these out the first time, and she just immediately started gagging on sight.
She mentioned it before we were recording. When you were getting these ready, I asked Melissa, I was like, is there any possible way you're going to eat one of these? And she said no.
Nope. I mean, what was it? You said something like a bunch of other grosser stuff you said you would eat first before you ate one of these.
Basically anything.
But certainly cheesecocks?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
She-
Top of the list.
I
I would
probably.
choke on a cock before I ate.
All right, so is this Hostess brand or is this okay? So this is the real deal, Holyfield.
Legit, yep.
All right, okay, I'm gonna take a bite of this. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like
It's
it.
very fair foodish.
Yeah, I love fair food. Carnival food, I guess it's the same thing. Elephant ears, aka funnel cake, same thing, right?
I think so.
I like all of that. Hot dogs, yes. Popcorn, yes. I just got a Whirly Pop the other day at Bed Bath & Beyond. It's like a $20 pot that has the lid, essentially, has two doors on it. And one of them, like, latches shut, and the other one you use to open to pour out popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got this, like, crank on it, where you crank it, and it just stirs the popcorn in the pot. And it takes about 3 minutes. And the popcorn's done, and holy shit.
Just hot air popcorn?
Yeah, it's all just done by like
That's
the heat and the steam. So like
that's the way to do popcorn.
Man,
so, yeah.
I've got my fucking method down. This has been like my pet project. Like this week, I've probably, no joke, spent 5 hours on popcorn. That's not a joke. I know it's ridiculous, but
No, you like popcorn.
I love popcorn. So like I got my Flavacol, which is, from what I hear and from the way it tastes, the seasoning that they use at the Cinemark at the movie theater.
Okay.
And I cooked those fuckers in coconut oil. Man, it's some good shit.
I'm impressed with that. That's some culinary shit you got going.
That is this pop. I'm willing to go next level for popcorn.
Chef.
Yeah, and I want to get some lava dust because I want to put that on some popcorn.
I've got that somewhere. That volcano dust of the Carolina Reaper powder.
Because that shit is hot.
Yeah.
And I think it would be amazing on popcorn.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, I think it would be amazing.
But besides this, I've got one more thing for us to try.
Oh, okay.
Because Melissa saw these and bought these for us.
Gay sex.
Because I really want you guys to have gay sex. It's even funnier that we bought the gay sex at Bob Evans.
That just makes sense.
Because I've been trying, because we always, when all of us in the car, it's usually torn between like Cracker Barrel and IHOP when we go out to eat. And I'm always like, let's go to Bob Evans. Let's do something a little different. Let's go to Bob Evans, because
we have one?
We do.
We have a Bob Evans?
Yep.
Really?
It's across from the
in Paducah?
McDonald's.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
And if...
How was it?
Well, if Cracker Barrel and IHOP were to have gay sex and produce a child, it would be Bob Evans.
It would be Bob Evans?
Yep. And we went, and I think it was... I did well in my choice. Everyone seemed very happy. So, and we were by far the youngest people in the establishment.
Really?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
While you were eating, did anyone wander in like, what? This exists? What's it look like inside there? Like Shoney's?
Wait, here we go. Now, Melissa, get on the mics for Bob Evans.
Melissa, I don't know which mic gets plugged in, so hopefully this will work.
Oh, okay. Before I met Tyler, I took our children into Bob Evans.
She didn't know me before she met, but our children.
We immediately went in and just walked right out.
Really?
It was like a cafeteria, like...
Was there like a dead person like on the floor?
Yeah.
It's cafeteria style?
No, it just reminds
when
me
you
of
come
one.
in, it does look like...
Yeah.
It does look like a cafeteria. Like, it is not a cafeteria style, but yeah, when you walk in, it does look like that.
Yeah. So, anyway, we really enjoyed it. We'll be going back. So.
Yeah.
All right, score one for Bob Evans.
Yeah, so highly recommended Bob Evans. But there, they had these Tabasco-filled chocolates.
Tabasco-filled chocolates. Okay. This looks like kind of looks like a tiny Kit Kat. The wrapper does, at least. Oh, that's Tabasco orange, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you tried this yet?
I have not.
This is a Tabasco brand spicy chocolate. Now, I realize that this is heresy, because I'm from Louisiana originally. I'm not a huge fan of Tabasco.
Neither am I. I think it's too vinegary.
Yeah, I don't really enjoy the taste, and I don't think it's hot at all. Mm-hmm. So, you ready to do this?
Yep.
Is this supposed to be like liquid Tabasco? Like, is this like Tabasco-filled chocolate?
Yes, to my understanding, yes.
Like a Cadbury egg that's just got Tabasco inside of it. Okay.
So it's going to be a wonderful experience.
All right.
They had lots of these at the Bob Evans counter for some reason.
Well, then that answers the question of whether or not I'm going to take a bite out of this or put the whole thing in my mouth.
Oh, yeah, because you don't want Tabasco just spilling out everywhere.
No, I'm going to put the whole thing in my mouth.
Me too. All right.
All right.
Oh, nope, I was wrong.
I'm glad you were wrong. There's no Tabasco liquid in here. You know what? Tabasco's pretty good in chocolate.
Yep. Actually, that's not bad. It doesn't have that vinegary taste of Tabasco, just a little bit of heat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. Thank you for sharing that. Tabasco brand spicy chocolate.
Also, I'm your bearded host, Tyler.
I'm your bespectacled host, Dave.
And now that I've got Melissa with the headphones, I hope she's trying to take them off. You want me to tell this story? You want me to save
No,
it?
go ahead.
I can save it.
Yeah, you were kind of torturing Melissa a little bit before we started recording. You used the phrase butt shelves.
Butt shelves.
What?
So I talked about a few weeks ago about having a story, but I wanted to wait till Melissa was with us. Because this may or may not be funny. It was funny to us at like 2 in the morning.
Okay, so 2 a.m. Disclaimer, 2 a.m. funny
This kind of
incoming.
pillow talk 2 a.m.
Okay, I got it.
Because I'm aware that I have a tailbone. So before people are like, what are you talking about? Like, I know I have a tailbone.
Wait,
I know that's what it is.
like, did you just discover this recently? Like,
Well, I remember I always thought like that I had an unusually high butt crack.
okay.
So I remember this started out. I remember I'd always see my butt in the mirror and be like, "Do I think I have a high butt crack?"
A high butt crack?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Like it starts off. It's just too high. It should be lower.
Do you look at your butt a lot in the mirror?
Whenever I'm taking a shower, get out of the shower and dry off, see my butt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, hey, that's probably a good thing because I don't know what could be on my butt right now, and I wouldn't know because I don't look at it in the mirror.
But and whenever I think my first discovery of this was when I had hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
When I was checking everything out.
I don't think.
What are you making them face for? I had to explain why I was all up in my butt.
Okay.
I don't know that I would. Would I know if I had hemorrhoids?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not a thing I have to look in the mirror for.
No.
I would be like, oh, my butt.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And while like checking everything out,
Mm-hmm.
I compared it to because I was confused by it because I'd never checked out my butt that much before, but I felt like,
Were you like, damn?
yeah, look at this
Look
shit.
at that butt.
But I was like, does my butt have like a continental shelf? Because I remember I started at what I thought was my high butt crack, and then go down slightly, and then I feel like a bone.
Yeah.
And the bone, like
tailbone, right?
it feels like a shelf though. It's like
A shelf.
straight across. It feels like it's a shelf in my butt.
Like a tiny shelf, or just like a protrusion?
No, like a tiny shelf. Like I would, I guess I imagine my tailbone to be a bone-like tail. Like I didn't imagine it would be like. It feels like a bar just like sitting there that divides the rest of my butt from the hole.
Like a here's an analogy, like an upside down birdhouse perch.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So like that little perch that birds can stand on before poking their head in the hole.
Exactly.
Like that?
Exactly.
But just flipped upside down.
Or flip or just where they're facing the same direction.
Okay. I got it, I think. How far out is this protruding? Did you have surgery?
The hemorrhoid or the butt shelf?
The butt shelf.
The butt shelf doesn't protrude.
Did you have your butt shelf removed?
Well, I should. But I remember because I would feel down and then suddenly it just like it dropped off. Like I hit the butt shelf, like a continental shelf,
Yeah.
and it just drops off into the butthole. So I always thought like, and I would feel it all the way across. Like it's weird because it feels like it's just straight all the way across my butt until I can't feel it anymore.
Yeah.
And then, because this was years ago when I had hemorrhoids, and like, okay, I just remembered it.
Man, please don't. Like, if this story ends with some kind of like weird heart infection or something.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, hemorrhoids are over.
Yeah.
Hemorrhoids are just why I discovered it in the first
Okay,
place.
cool.
No.
I just didn't.
I got better.
I ate all of that deep fried Twinkie. I'm gonna tap out if you're gonna tell me that you found like this callous piece of like pus inside your butt.
No, nothing medically wrong.
Okay, all right, okay, good.
Just discovered what felt to me
Like a butt shelf. Right.
And then cut to years later. Melissa and I are laying
Years.
in bed.
Okay.
And like I have to scratch my butt, and I'm like, oh hey, butt shelf. It's like, okay, well we're at this point in my marriage. I was like, hey, check something out for me.
Melissa's shaking her head as if no, baby, you weren't at that point. Either that or you're just a little embarrassed.
Because it's just like, hey, come over and put your hand in my butt. What?
In your butt?
I mean, you have to go in the crack to get there.
Oh, okay. But that's
But
not in the butt.
In my butt.
Hot dog.
It's not in me.
Come
it's
on.
just in my
He has
butt.
a really deep crack, so.
I do have a deep crack.
High and deep. That's how I like them.
I have a bubble butt, so yeah, there's a lot of crack to go through. I'm not like Josh Nance, where it's your back and then it's the hole just drops.
Right.
But so I have her check it out.
Yeah. What'd you find, Melissa?
Do you feel this? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to jump in here anymore?
No, go ahead.
Am I getting it all right?
Did you feel the butt shelf?
I did. I'm going to show you this.
That is a charger.
Can you choke up a little bit?
Oh, yes. If you were to put this...
If I were to put this charger...
Yeah, the little adapter thing. Stand up.
This is an AC adapter. This is probably like the size of
How am I supposed to stand
It's
up?
a rectangular shape.
It's like the size of like a matchbook or something like that. Or a matchbox.
It's like that. Inside there. I'm
You
putting this on the top of Tyler's crack.
You have an AC adapter. Like, are you wearing a wire?
Always.
I don't understand.
I'm in deep cover. Had to have it.
That's in your butt?
I was like, check this out. Do you feel this? And yeah, you're just, yeah, okay, I do feel that. I was like, feel it all the way across. And you're, yeah, okay. Huh, that's weird. Hey, check out mine then. So then you flip over, and then I feel your butt shelf.
Yeah.
Sure enough, she also has a butt shelf.
You have a butt shelf as well?
Yes.
Can you put stuff on it? I don't understand butt shelf.
It was weird.
Like,
shelf is
totally
really inaccurate.
Normal.
can you rest like a small cat figurine on it or something?
I think it's just where your tailbone is.
It's just I think it's just your tailbone, yeah. But it feels odd in that it's so very straight and in your butt.
All right, so I'm touching my butt right now, and I don't feel a shelf. What I feel is
a bone.
I feel a bone, like a big bone, and then that right down below that, I feel this like jelly bean bone, and I assume that jelly bean bone is my tailbone. Would anyone here like touch my butt?
Jelly bean, but we're all right now feeling your butt.
We all have our hands down in the back of our pants. Yeah, I've got this like little jelly bean bone.
If what I think you feel, I felt on you, Melissa, because I was like, oh, yours feels different, a little bit different than mine.
Mm-hmm.
So mine, like, I don't have that little jelly bean bone.
You don't have the jelly bean bone?
That's in the middle?
No, it's at the very end. It's like the hard thing I feel in my butt. Is a jelly bean bone.
So we just had our nice moment of flipping back and forth, feeling each other's butt shelves, our butt bones. Because I expected maybe some curvature, maybe some protrusions, I don't know, something, divots, but it felt like it was just perfectly smooth, straight, like a shelf, just right there.
Do you think you're an android, maybe?
I don't know. I don't know if it's totally normal or not. I'm glad Melissa has one.
Yeah.
So I know it's not weird.
I'm going to go home and feel Nikki's butt shelf.
Weird.
I'm going to ask her to...
I could have just found my perfect match, my butt shelf match.
I think so.
I'm going to ask her to find my jelly bean bone. I swear, it feels like a hard jelly bean down there. Like right before the hole. Yeah.
Oh, right before the
hole?
hole?
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking
about. Oh, we're not farther down. We're not.
Oh, you're higher up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Oh, we're going to have to go farther down to dive.
Yeah.
If you go any further down, then you just find it's just skin. It's just a hole at that point.
Yeah.
But right now, you're still just like, because if you were to press down a little bit, it's like you'll just slip off. Because it just abruptly ends. And it's just whole taint, and then that's it.
I don't have that.
So I don't know.
Next time I go to the doctor, I'll ask.
Could you check out my butt shelf, doctor?
When you said butt shelves earlier, I thought it was going to be like a subreddit thing. I thought it was going to be like...
we talked about that.
I thought it was going to be a new subreddit where like big booty girls use their butts to hold things.
Oh, I'm sure that's a thing. That has to 100% be a thing.
I'm going to look to see
what it's called.
I'm gonna, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to see if there is a subreddit.
It'd probably be like ass grips or some shit.
Ass grips?
Ass gripping, something like that.
I think that is a subreddit, but like that would be like ass cheeks like holding, grabbing onto something, like a...
But you mean a butt that you could just set something on?
Just on it. Like it's a butt that's just...
Yeah. Like pregnant girls set stuff on their belly. This could be butt on your butt.
Yeah. I'm just going to search. I'm just going to do reddit.com/
I like how y'all pretend you don't already know this exists.
I don't.
We don't know.
I don't. I don't, Melissa, I swear. Our butt shelves. Let's see. What do we got?
Because I'm only recently an ass man, so... It's because of you. What's your butt shelf?
No, that doesn't make... Butt shelves is not a subreddit. But if there is a subreddit with... There has to be a subreddit with women holding things on their butt.
Yeah, 100%.
Propping things up with their butt. I think there's a subreddit for like just stacking things on cats.
Yes, they turned that into a book that I had somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Was it Cat Stackers?
Stuff, I think, or the book was like Stuff on My Cat, I believe. I bought that book's $1 million for way too much for a very small book.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know if that's weird or funny, but I was like, okay, that's something to bring up on the show.
I think it's interesting because I'm curious what that is.
Shelf.
Maybe there needs to be a new Tadpog Nation Facebook poll. Do you have a butt shelf? I don't. I have a jelly bean bone. I've got a jelly bean bone. I can't wait to get home now and ask my wife to touch my jelly bean bone.
And then you touch hers and compare.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if she's got one or if she's got a butt shelf.
So yeah, that's it for me.
I just planned on telling you about popcorn, so I'm done too.
Okay. Well, do you hear that, Dave?
Yeah, I do. I hear what sounds like a weeping snuffleupagus on the train to the La Brea Tar Pits.
You just described some weird Sesame Street Auschwitz.
Yeah, I know.
Snuffleupagus is on the train.
I'm glad you picked up on that because in my mind I was like, let's put that motherfucking snuffleupagus to his death. Let's put him on a death train and ride it to the La Brea Tar Pits.
Yeah, just black and white snuffleupagus shuffling onto a train.
Oh yeah. There's only room for one. Do you think are there more snuffleupaguses? Snuffleupagus?
Well, I think for the longest time he was imaginary.
Oh yeah, he was Big Bird's imaginary friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he became reality?
I want to say he did.
Like in Sphere?
Because it was, I think, keeping him like that was, I don't know. I remember it was a long time ago when I read an article about it, but I believe they eventually did bring him into reality.
It was that episode where when Big Bird got his brain tumor removed, it turned out that Snuffleupagus was real, right?
Have you seen the Sesame Street About Death?
No, I haven't. There is a Sesame Street About Death?
Where the actor, Mr. Hooper's store, the actor who played Mr. Hooper, did die. And instead of just like hiding it or playing it off, or saying, oh no, he went on vacation or anything like that, they like addressed like, no, he died.
Interesting.
And then like did a whole thing of like Big Bird showing up like to Mr. Hooper's store and it was closed and all the adult characters had to explain to him about death and what happened and what it means.
And they were like, but don't worry, Big Bird, because all of this is just a boy with autism staring into a snow globe.
Is Mr. Hooper in heaven? No. Or he's rotting in the ground somewhere. There's nowhere to go.
No, I didn't know they did one.
This is real, Big Bird. You're not real.
Have you seen Sesame Street recently?
Not since. Well, Kenna enjoyed. I watched a lot of it with Kenna. She really, really likes Sesame Street.
Because I know she likes Elmo. Because I've heard her say it. That's probably one of the first words I heard her say.
Elmo and Ernie.
Ernie.
But whenever it got pulled from, I think it was on Netflix. Whenever they got pulled from Netflix, then we stopped watching.
I know they're on Hulu now because I was doing part of my research for this episode. My extensive research. I spent hours in between popcorn poppings.
It's still a good show. Like I think Sesame Street is like the best children's programming.
The one that I saw had Tina Fey on it as a buccaneer. So I don't know how old that was. It looked like it was standard definition, but at the same time, I was like, well, maybe that's just how PBS rolled with Sesame Street. I don't know.
One I watched was David Hyde Pierce as like the cookie connoisseur for the Cookie Club, and Donald Glover as the rapper LMNOP. They've got some stuff.
Yeah, that's
Grover doing the game of chairs. So it was like set up like Game of Thrones when they were playing musical chairs. The 30 Rock segment that was about counting 30 rocks.
Yeah.
It was Liz Lemon, who was a lemon with Tina Fey's glasses on and shit like that.
So was Sesame Street like geared for our parents too? Like when we were kids, like did our parents get the same enjoyment? Because like I remember there being celebrities on Sesame Street, but they were always people I didn't know. So I assume that my parents were probably they're seeing the equivalent of Tina Fey on the children's show.
Yeah, I mean that's a good conclusion.
That's my assumption.
I went back and watched the very first episode of Sesame Street, and it was weird.
The very first
episode.
How long ago did you watch it?
It was a few months ago when I sat down and watched it, but because Oscar the Grouch was like orange.
Nice. I was gonna ask if they were like different colors and shit.
Yeah. adult characters I'd never heard of. And
dude, is it just head fiction that he was orange and then he spent so much time living in the garbage can
I think
it turned him green?
I think that is the actual.
Oh my god, I love it.
I really think that is that like he changed because he was so dirty. I can't tell you that for certain, but I remember hearing that.
I fucking love it. I don't care if it's true or not. That's how I choose to remember it from here on out. Did anyone else change colors?
Not that I recall.
Okay. Did any of them change genders? I'm looking at you, Bert, and or Ernie.
All of them.
I do hear that, of course, which I do hear that slow, sludging train. It's in the tar pits now. Snuffleupagus is really freaking the fuck out. Big Bird is trying to pull him out of the train, which I guess explains why he's not in this game, Sesame Street Fighter. Which, of course, ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
This game is not on Wikipedia, so
okay.
That is a very, very short segment. Nor does it have a description on the website, which you can find it, which is a website called flavourmachine.com. And that's flavor. Not flavor. That's flavor, the British spelling.
Oh, okay.
This is so I can sum it up for you if you'd like. This is a fighting game?
Yeah.
Fighting game, fighting/typing game, which features mashup characters from Sesame Street and Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
It's all based on the artwork of a dude posted some fucking artwork, some mashups of Sesame Street characters as Street Fighters, like in 2010.
I feel like this is a vehicle for really cool character designs, and that's really about it.
Yeah, no, okay.
The character design is brilliant.
The character design is really funny, and it is brilliant. So let's talk about that. Let's start there.
Okay, because it's a small roster. Because let's see, so you got E Honda, but Cookie Monster is E Honda. So they all have the similar body type, but with coloring and in their heads.
It's pretty much Street Fighter characters with Sesame Street heads on them.
Yeah.
Like that's. I mean, and then they redo the color.
Yeah.
But like that's pretty much all it is, right?
Yeah. I guess there's maybe a little more to Oscar as Blanca.
Yeah, you're right.
But other than that,
but like Bert and Ernie as Ken and Ryu. I mean, it is pretty much just Ken and Ryu with Bert and Ernie's head on them. I kind of feel like the mashups, the concepts of the mashups themselves are the best part. Like, I don't even think that they're really implemented that well. Mm-hmm. But like the idea of Oscar the Grouch is Blanca. Okay, that checks out. Oscar's green, or at least he is now, since he's a filthy trash boy. And
Blanca still has orange on him, so it's like the clean tufts underneath all the dirty tufts.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cookie Monster is E Honda. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Grover is Dalsim, which also makes sense because Grover's fucking tall and skinny. Mm-hmm. We got Oscar as Blanca, which we mentioned. We've got Ernie as Ken,
mm-hmm.
and Bert as Ryu.
Mm-hmm.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And then finally, we have M. Bison.
It's made me laugh so hard when I saw that.
Who is Elmo.
Yeah.
Which is like a wonderful parallel from for me. Like a kid who grew up without Elmo. And then I had younger...
I was a Grover kid growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High five. I love Grover too. Grover is the Gonzo of Sesame Street. He just is. And everyone knows Gonzo's the best fucking Muppet.
Yep.
So, of course Grover's the best.
Melissa, opinion?
What do you think?
Same.
Who's your favorite Muppet?
I think Gonzo's really high up there.
What about Sesame Street character?
I mean, I like Oscar the Grouch.
Okay.
I'm pretty grouchy, so.
I like Oscar.
I live in a trash can, so. That's what this house is. It's just one giant trash can.
I think that's all that all houses are.
I really fooled Kyle and Ryan when they came over here to make it not look like a giant trash can.
When I came over, when I came over, you guys were cleaning like crazy people, which I cannot believe how fast you clean, Melissa. Because
Thank you.
when I came over, Tyler was cleaning, and I was like, man, we're going to record in an hour. I don't think you're going to be able to get all this done. And then Melissa, you entered the scene, and then like I blinked and the living room was fucking clean. I was like, what the fuck
I'm
happened?
gonna put up this pair of socks. Come back, living room's clean.
I don't know if you threw all those things away. I don't know what happened to all those things, but that living room was fucking clean, and
Just hide them in a different room.
I was impressed. That's what I used to do as a kid. Man, okay, so Grover.
Mhm.
Grover as Dalsim is probably. These are all fucking brilliant. But Elmo, okay. So when I was a kid, Elmo wasn't around. Elmo came around later, like around when some of my younger cousins were watching Sesame Street. So I remember the first time I saw Elmo on Sesame Street was like over at one of their houses, and they just happened to be watching it. And I remember seeing Elmo, this little red fuck, and being like,
This little red fuck.
What is this? You can't just add. This is like season 6 of a sitcom, and they're like, this ain't doing so well. Add a baby. That's what Elmo seemed like to me. And it's like, I don't like this at all. And then slowly like watching it, and it's like, oh, Elmo's on Oprah. Elmo's on Backpacks. It's like Sesame Street became the fucking Elmo show.
It really still is. Because I remember Grover was who I liked, but I feel like Big Bird was the star when I was a kid.
Yeah, Big Bird was it, right?
Mm.
And then like Elmo is like,
Because
and
Big Bird had the movies, like the blue. What's that Bluebird? The Bluebird movie he was in, where he gets turned blue.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Yes.
Nest.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
I didn't see the
The
Bluebird.
Bluebird of Happiness.
Let me find that. Because that was one of my favorite movies growing up.
I remember the one where he like ran away, and someone named Finch is like a bounty hunting him or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I can't remember what it's called.
Follow That Bird.
Follow That Bird.
Nice.
Yes.
1985.
Is that the same movie?
Mhm.
So he turns blue in that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Such a good movie.
I don't know why I remember the character Finch. Like of all, and I think honestly I do think I don't know why I remember that character. It's because it was like I remember watching it, similar feelings to Elmo. Finch is not on
Right.
Sesame Street, so I was like, who the fuck is this? You can't just add characters. I guess you can.
Yeah.
They've proven that you can. But
Because now they have that fucking fairy character.
Abby Cadabby.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
saw her on that
Terrible.
Tina Fey episode. I saw,
And she has a whole like because Elmo has Elmo's World,
right,
which
and that's
is an increasingly larger part of the show.
that's a long segment.
Yep.
That's a long segment.
It's
It's
a fucking Mr. Noodle. Fucking Mr. Noodle.
What is
Dumb
Mr.
asshole.
I
Noodle?
love him.
What is Mr. Noodle?
He's Mr. Noodle is like the weirdest part of the show because in Elmo's world, and Elmo want to know how to do something, so he'll go like, "Oh, okay, I should probably ask Mr. Noodle." So I guess Mr. Noodle is his neighbor who lives outside,
No, I think he's the artist.
but he does
Yeah.
not look like somebody who would normally be on Sesame Street.
What's he look like?
He's a very honest.
Slenderman.
Yeah.
All right, I'm seeing an image. He looks
I
like
love him. He's so clumsy.
Because he opens the window like, "Hey, Mr. Noodle, how do I make a cup of soup?" And then Mr. Noodle like pours soup into his shoe, and all the kids like laugh. "Oh, Mr. Noodle, that's not how you make soup." And then he gets like in a bathtub. "You're not making soup, Mr. Noodle." He does many stupid things before he figures out how to do the simple task that Elmo's asked him to do.
you know who he looks like to me? He looks like Leon from Roseanne
Oh,
in a plaid
yeah.
vest
Yeah, he
in a bow tie.
Martin Mull.
Martin
so
Martin Mull, yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Who owns the restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, so I saw some of Elmo's World when I rewatched Sesame Street, and Henry likes Sesame Street.
Mhm.
Like, I gotta be honest though, I'm kind of like trying to hedge him away from it just because I don't want to deal with Elmo.
Oh yeah, Elmo's terrible.
Everywhere.
They want like all the dolls that like talk like him and stuff. It's
Mhm.
terrible.
I wonder how much like
Kenny got over that though, because at first like Daniel Tiger was her jam,
yeah, Daniel Tiger's.
and I still
I
like
love
Daniel
Daniel Tiger. Yeah.
And then it was Sesame Street, and then from Sesame Street, then she moved on to like Paw Patrol and stuff like that. And now Elmo is kind of a non-issue anymore.
I have yet to see a legal version of Paw Patrol. I've seen a bootleg version of it on YouTube.
Mhm.
I came home for lunch the other day, and my mom watches Henry while I'm at work, and I walk in, and there's this like recreation, some Play-Doh recreation of a Paw Patrol episode that's on TV. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I sit down and I watch it. I'm like, this is a poor production of a Paw Patrol episode.
Because, Mom has cable. So over there, whenever I was staying in Tadpog High Rise, and I take Ken over to my mom's house in the mornings, she would watch Shimmer and Shine and Paw Patrol and a bunch of shit like that. So then I'd come to my house, and I only have YouTube, Netflix, and Hulu. So, let's see, what do I get when I put this into YouTube? Yeah, you might get 1 or 2 episodes of the show.
Right.
Most of the time, it's like a live playthrough of the shitty mobile games.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
that kind of like someone trying to recreate an episode of Play-Doh.
I mean, it blew my mind. And then, I had to tell my mom, I was like, we can't let him watch this. And she's like, why not? I'm like, okay, when that episode ended, YouTube showed us what it's going to play next. And it was the Paw Patrol characters covered in blood. So let's not watch the bootleg Paw Patrol anymore, please. There's plenty of stuff he can watch on Hulu. I'd prefer he watch Ash versus the Evil Dead than see the Paw Patrol characters in blood.
Renewed for season 2. Very happy about it.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
That is good. I haven't finished season 1, although I like what I saw.
I told you I would get you that. I need to actually give you that.
I don't have time. This is fine. It's not a big deal. I would like to watch it at some point, but I'm fine to wait. Okay, so back to Sesame Street Fighter. So those are how all the characters work, and going back to Elmo, I think it's brilliant that he's M. Bison, because to me he is M. Bison. He just kind of fucking shows up with psionic powers, controlling people's minds, forming Shadaloo Empire, and he's the final boss. And you get to him by, like you would in a Street Fighter game, you choose your character, and then you fight your way through all the other characters until you fight M. Bison Elmo. Mm-hmm. Elm Bison.
Elm Bison.
And instead of pressing buttons to punch and kick and do special moves, what you do is type words. Words fall down from the top of the screen, and you have to type them. And once you type all of a word, you perform a special move or a combo.
Yep.
Which is, I think, a really cool idea. Because I love typing games.
After the initial this is funny wears off, and it's a decent concept,
Mm-hmm.
but then it kind of falls apart really quickly because it's the same music in the same stage. Which, I mean, it's a free little thing to get on.
Yeah, it's a free game. We didn't mention that. This is a browser game.
Yeah.
I failed to mention that when I was giving the description of the game.
I paid $60 for this on the Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah, a AAA PBS title.
But because every character sort of has their own difficulty to your words. Like your easy character is Cookie Monster, who you only spell out animal words with Cookie Monster.
You spell out animals with Cookie Monster, and you're right. I think that's cool that they have this scale of difficulty where it's if you want easy words to type, do Cookie Monster. Mm-hmm. He is rated as a level 3 fighter. The opposite end of that spectrum is Ryu, Ken, and Oscar, who are all level 7.
See, and why they give them all the same category, I think, is really lame.
Yeah, all
you
three of those.
don't have that many characters. Give them all
something different. Because like Cookie Monster has animal-related words, these 3 characters have Russian cities.
Yep.
Which are very difficult for me to type because I'm not familiar with them.
Just like your Reykjavik.
Yeah, and that's Iceland, I think.
Iceland,
yeah,
but I think it's on there.
But that's one of those where it's no muscle memory is helping me because it's I really have to think and be okay, letter, instead of word I do when it's an animal.
And because Grover is weather.
Yeah, he's a level 5.
And then I forget what Elm Bison is.
Elm Bison is German scientist.
Okay, yeah.
And it's their full name. Elmo is a level 9. You can't select Elmo the first time you go through it. He becomes unlockable once you beat him as one of the other characters.
Did you find the extremely easy exploit?
I did not. No. What is the exploit?
Even, you don't have to finish typing a word to deal damage. You can do tiny amounts of damage basically every time you
the
put
first
in a
letter.
Yeah, so because I was watching a video about it. Like one guy figured out like, oh, if I press the first letter, I'm doing just like a tiny bit of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And he would just press the first letter over and over and over again, and that damage dealt from that was faster than typing out the whole word.
That sucks.
And then he figured out, oh, I don't even have to press it. I just have to hold it down.
That also
and then
sucks.
it would do damage even faster. So then he was setting records by just like sort of guessing what the word was going to be and
holding down the letter
held down and just. Then he figured out if you plug in 2 keyboards into your computer, hold down both the letters, you do it twice as fast. So he did something like he was beating. Like every fighter took like, I don't know if it was the game or the fighter, where he beat it in like 20 seconds. Like the world record was like 20 seconds.
That explains the video that I saw, because like when I did a search for it, I was trying to find information on this game, and there's not much out there. Like when I typed in Sesame Street Fighter, I think the 4th link that showed up was like a speedrunning site. And I was like, okay, let's see how long this takes to beat. At this point, I had already finished the game as Bert and Elmo, and I was like, let's just see how long how fast someone could beat this. And yeah, it was 25 seconds was the top one I saw, and they had a video uploaded, but it was just gameplay capture. It had no I had no idea how they were doing it. But it was like the opponent would appear, and then they would die, and then the next one would appear and die. Like, well, I don't even know what they're doing. They're not even. I don't even see the word being completed or anything like that.
You have to. If you have the 2 keyboards and you correctly guess the word is coming down, and then already have that pressed down, then yeah, that's just it. Game over.
That's bullshit.
Yep.
That's bullshit. But I get it, because it's like, okay, this is weird, because I started out, I figured, okay, I'm going to start small, I'm going to start easy, I'm going to ease into this, and I'm going to play the game as Cookie Monster. He's level 3, it's animal words. This is going to be easy. So it's usually like 4 or 5 letter words will come down, and I type them out, and as I type them, I attack. But the problem is, when you are typing, if your opponent hits you, it stops you from typing.
Yep.
So you're constantly being interrupted. So what I discovered was, by the time as Cookie Monster, supposedly the easiest character to play, once I got like 4 fights in, I stood no chance. I stood no chance, because I'm facing off against fighters who have harder words, but they're more letters. So they're interrupting me more often. So it's like, as I'm trying to type my 5-letter word, it's like taking me the entire fight to get like to just get like a single letter in.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck this. I switched it to Bert, level 7, who's got the fucking Russian city names, and it was so much easier, because it was just one of those things where it's like, I have more letters to type, and because I have more letters to type, I have more of an opportunity to interrupt my opponent's attacks. So I felt like that was unbalanced.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
And I feel really stupid talking about balance in this game. Like, that is dumb. I should rather be talking about butt shelves, because this is
a fun concept.
Yes,
the game was pretty garbage.
It's a funny game. Like, it's not really game.
It's a cool concept, but I think could have really been played up on. Like, if you had like a wheel of words that if you type something in, you would do like, you could jump or block or do a special or charge a meter and get like a very, very long word.
Yeah.
Like something, I mean, there's a lot more you could do with it than they did, but
there are
just
cool
a free
things.
little browser game where people were like, oh, I've got this. Somebody must have seen these illustrations of these crossovers and like, I'll just put a game together.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's the same. I mean,
it's like a 24-hour design contest.
Right.
This is what
I mean, I certainly couldn't make this.
Yeah.
But I do think, I like that you also thought about like a different way that they could approach it, because I couldn't help but think about it either. It's like one of those things where I think it would be cool if you could choose different words based on what you wanted the character to do. Like, say for instance, I am fighting Bert, and he throws a Hadouken at me. And I have the option of either canceling it by throwing my own, blocking it, or jumping. So, like, it gives me 3 different words, and each one of those words corresponds with one of those commands. Yeah. Like, I think you could, like, really open it up
you could do a good game based on, like, a typing fighter.
If you like typing games,
Yeah.
which I don't think a lot of people do.
What Typing into Dead was a game you really
Typing
enjoyed?
of the Dead is an amazing fucking game that I recommend anybody who likes typing games or House of the Dead, the House of the Dead series to check out.
Or Mavis Beacon.
Or, I've never played, is it Mavis? I always said Mavis, but now I feel like an idiot.
I just heard Jacob say Mavis. That's all I know.
Well, Jacob's right. I'm wrong. I've never done Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing.
Yeah, neither have I. I just know it's a thing lots of people have done.
I remember seeing the box,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember seeing, I think, a copy of it in 7th grade, and in my typing class, but we never used it.
How was your middle school typing class?
A lot of fun.
Yeah,
It was great because we had to use electric typewriters, and that wasn't a big deal. And then once we were done with our assignment for the day, we got to play educational computer games.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I remember playing. Well, I say educational, but battle chess. I guess it's quasi-critical thinking. And I remember playing Oregon Trail and Prince of Persia, which is blatantly not an educational game.
Did they cover your hands whenever you were in typing class?
Did they cover my hands?
Uh-huh.
Like with chocolate?
Yeah. So
No, I don't know what you mean.
Challenge mode. You just cover
Right? Yes. Oh, he's got to find the flag in the typewriter. No, I don't know. Covered with what?
Well, so you couldn't see your hands
Oh.
while you were typing.
No, they didn't do that.
See, I feel like I had a weird abusive typing class in middle school because
She always had her finger in my ass. She might have been abusive. I can't tell.
I've got your shift key.
I've got your shelf right where I want it. Now tight, boy.
This is the enter button on your butt shelf.
Yeah, the quick brown fox ain't quick enough today.
Miss Leonard's finger got quick brown today, didn't it? Man, because we had like these cardboard things that would cover up your keyboard while you typed.
So it's like a divider?
Yeah, so you weren't allowed to look at the keys whenever you would type.
I see.
Like, it wasn't like, do an assignment and then have fun. Like, it was the whole time you were doing, like, make 3 errors on this 200-word thing. Oh, start over. You better finish it. It was horrible to be in that class.
We had that too. Like, we had to start over. But I had a secret weapon, and that was the internet. I was looking up nude photographs on the internet before taking typing class in middle school. So
Like an A.
I knew how to type already because I knew how to find all those sweet boob pics. So if you got through it without making mistakes, the teacher really, like, there were a few kids where, like, the teacher didn't know what to do, and they're like, all right, you get to play battle chess. So
that's nice.
So that just is proof that pornography pays off.
I remember you could come to school early and go to the computer room and play some computer games.
That's nice.
Which it was King's Quest, Slalom,
yeah.
And something else. It wasn't a great variety. I remember what was cool, in middle school was everybody trying to figure out what to do in King's Quest.
There is a smell that I feel like I'm never going to smell again. This is going to sound ridiculous, but it's the smell of a computer lab in the 1990s. There's some kind of weird smell where it's not like it's a good smell to me, but it's almost like, I don't know, like when you get too close to the television as a kid and
electric
you'd
smell.
feel that static.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like for some reason when I was a kid, like in the 90s, and there were like 40 fucking computers in a room, like it just smelled like computers in there.
Okay, I get that. Melissa, what's your favorite smell?
Butt shelf.
Besides butt shelves, is a new shower curtain.
A new shower curtain?
Yeah.
Because of I get it.
Yeah,
they smell
really
good.
like
Tyler.
I'll find like plastic bags and stuff like the hard plastic, not like soft plastic, but hard plastic things that bring to her.
Just throw them over her face.
Oh, thank you.
What's your favorite smell, Tyler?
Oh, that's hard. What is my favorite smell?
Butt shelves.
Butt shelves. I love my favorite perfume. Although now, because Melissa recently for her birthday bought her a new perfume, so it is upcoming one of my favorites. But I love the smell of Lucky Number 5. That perfume.
I haven't thought about Lucky Number 5 in a minute.
Love that. And then Victoria's Secret Bombshell.
That smells really good.
I like a lot.
Yeah, that smells really good. I don't know what all perfumes Victoria's Secret? Because like they've got a full line, don't they? They got a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff that is some of it's absolute awful garbage, and some of it
Yeah.
smells really good.
Man, Victoria's Secret, they got to be making a killing, right? Because it's like every time I get like a catalog or something, every time I see one of those, it's like that costs that much, and then like on top of it, they're not just selling lingerie and and just undergarments, but I mean they're like selling fucking like hoodies and shorts and perfume
duffel bags,
and
lotions,
duffel bags, lotions.
That pink line of stuff that they...
Right.
Pink is like their newest store, and it appeals to teenagers, which we have.
And Aerosmith fans from the
Yes.
90s.
We're spending a lot of money in that store recently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, man. I had an ex-girlfriend who loved Victoria's Secret, and I loved that she loved Victoria's Secret because it meant that she liked to wear fun things to bed. I don't know if that's how it goes in this house, but
Yep.
yeah. I mean, that's why you
I'm
go.
going to say no. I think that Victoria's Secret's line of lingerie is very...
Well, you wear
What would
fun
you
things
say?
to bed, just not necessarily Victoria's Secret.
Tame? Would you say tame?
Yes, it's
yeah,
very
it's tame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Okay, so I remember at one point thinking the same thing. That Victoria's Secret lingerie just never fit me well to begin with, and I just needed to just kind of explore. I remember when I lived in Lexington, they had a Hustler.
Yeah.
Hustler of America was the name of the store.
Mm-hmm.
It was a store that sold like lingerie and sex toys and stuff like that. And I remember going there, just thinking maybe I'll pick Nikki up something. God, she's gonna be so fucking pissed that I'm telling this story. So fucking pissed at me.
Melissa will weigh in and balance it out. She also likes the Hustler store.
And I remember, well, maybe you can confirm or deny with me. I remember going into that store and being like, all right, there's some pretty cool stuff in here. There's some neat stuff in here.
Yeah.
And I remember going to the lingerie section, and I remember going, oh, everything in this section is for 13-year-old girls, because like I don't see how a woman can fit into any, like everything was extra small, like every fucking thing was extra small. And it's like, I mean, like seriously, I don't understand how like a regular sized normal average woman could fit into any of that. And I remember being like, well, okay, I guess this ain't gonna fucking work. But other than that, I mean, they had a lot of like fun stuff in there.
They do.
I was just
really like
disappointed that I didn't like their size selection, because I mean it was like legitimately all
I think
extra
you should go
small.
again.
Yeah, I'll go again.
Because like when we go in there and she's like, all right, see what do you like? What do you like of this lingerie? And I'll be looking at something. I'll pick something out. I like this. I can't wear that. Why? Tall girls. Half of this stuff is for tall girls.
Oh, it sounded like you had a selection.
5, 6, or above.
Yeah.
Because like I'll pick out something and she's like, no, that looks like I'm just wearing rags. For tall girls.
Oh, that's what I'm into, maybe.
Like that hobo fucking.
Come on, rag girl. Let's see. Anything else about Sesame Street Fighter? There's not a whole lot.
No.
Like you said,
And there's no ending. It just you beat Elm Bison and it's just like game over. Put your initials in.
it gives your time and your score, which is identical. And then, yeah, that's it. I did notice that when I would beat the game as one of the characters, a star would appear next to their profile on the character select. I don't know if there are any secret characters or anything like that, but I will say that I looked at the original art that this game is based on. It's a dude or a girl named Gavacho13. In 2010 did all this art. There are other characters that do not appear in this game. My personal favorite, and it really pisses me off that he's not in it, because it looks amazing, is Big Bird as Sagat.
Oh.
It is fucking amazing, because it's like, and maybe they didn't do it because it essentially just looks like a mean Big Bird with a fucking scar and boxing shorts.
Who would Balrog and Vega be?
They had Rolf from the Muppets as Balrog.
Okay.
Which I understand why he wouldn't be in this game, because he's not a Sesame Street character.
Yeah.
Vega? Who would Vega be? I'm running out of Sesame Street characters that I know.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think back on like I mean, they're like newer ones.
Mr. Hooper returns from the grave wearing a mask. I don't know.
Because of his undead face, yeah.
You're right.
From the grave.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. What other Sesame Street characters are there?
Because I know there's Abby Cadabby, there's that the guy, the orange one at the beginning, and then the one who speaks Spanish with the lamb.
Count.
Oh, Count! How do we forget Count?
Awesome.
That is a good one.
Count.
How cool would it be if Count was in this game and instead of spelling things out, you just type numbers? You just deal with numbers, no
He's
letters.
super hard because it's just 1,
I know.
2, 3.
Or he's super easy if you know the trick. Get 2 keyboards and just hold down 1. Beat the game in 18 seconds.
Man.
How do we forget the
Count.
goddamn Count? Who would the Count be from Street Fighter? Vega, you think?
Yeah.
All right. I guess that makes sense. Who would, what other Sesame Street characters have we forgotten? Snuffleupagus just straight up can't be in the game.
Yeah.
And maybe he's like a background character.
I mean, he would have been a good E Honda, but
Yeah. Thousand trunk slap.
Trunks.
Chun-Li, there's no Chun-Li. I think the art had Miss Piggy as Chun-Li, which also makes sense why that wasn't in the game. Kermit was Guile. The Kermit art as Guile is amazing. I'll have links to this gallery in the show notes at tadpog.com. I strongly urge everybody listening to check it out because while I don't think the art itself is fantastic, like the concept, like the mashups themselves, I think are really cool.
Because what was it? I was looking at I think it was a BuzzFeed article about, no, it was a Cracked article, like 20 relationships from your youth that don't actually make sense, and one of them was Kermit and Miss Piggy.
Frog and Pig.
Like, well, not just that, but like, he's like philosophical, easy, you know, laid back, fun kind of guy, and Miss Piggy is narcissistic and abusive, and like, why they would be together makes no sense whatsoever.
Opposites attract, baby, right?
I mean, that's,
I think, Miss Piggy's just like domineering. Like, I think Kermit
Just
didn't know.
bullies him into it.
I don't think Kermit knew what he was getting into, and then now he can't get out.
And then, because what was it, in the new Muppet series, they're broken up and he's dating a new pig.
Right. I saw 2 or 3 episodes of the new Muppet series, and I didn't care much.
I heard it was not very good. I never watched it.
I was a little disappointed. I like the Muppets, but I'm not the biggest fan. You know, like I don't claim to love the Muppets, but
No, I used to. The Muppet Show, I would watch over and over and over again. Loved it so much.
I remember being pissed when it would come on Nickelodeon because I think it was like before Nick at Night or something like that, or like right when Nick at Night was coming out. I remember like all the shit on Nickelodeon I cared about would end, and then there would be the Muppet Show, and then I think Nick at Night would start.
Okay.
And I used to remember thinking, just start Nick at Night. I want my Muppets in cartoon baby form only, please.
Because what was it I heard recently about? Like, there was a Muppet movie, that then had a cutaway of them as babies, and there was such a huge outcry for more of that.
That they made the cartoon.
Muppet Babies was born.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. But here's the thing, like, my first exposure to Muppets was Sesame Street, and then I guess, they are Muppets, right? I mean, the puppets on Sesame Street are Muppets.
I'd say any Jim Henson creation is a
Yeah,
Muppet.
Fraggle Rock, like, I count that too. Like, and I remember, like, loving Fraggle Rock, and then, so, like, I
like that you even said Fraggle Rock in almost the theme song.
Yeah,
I love Fraggle
Rock.
Fraggle Rock.
I can't help it. So, I loved all that, and then I guess it was just, in the Muppet Babies, of course, and then, like, after I had seen, like, all of that, then I got exposed to the Muppet Show, which had celebrities I didn't know telling jokes that were over my head, to be honest, and it was just kind of like, I don't like this one bit.
The only one I knew was, like, Steve Martin.
Yeah, I remember, yes.
Everyone else, like, I don't know who any of these people are.
And I barely knew Steve Martin.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I honestly didn't really even...
Because he was still, like, zany, arrow through the head Steve Martin back then.
Right.
So it was a totally different guy.
Right.
But, yeah, I guess we're about out of time there.
All right. Are we good? Do you want to take calls or anything like that?
We could probably take 1 or 2.
All right. Let's see what I got.
Because we've got a little bit of time before Joshua arrives.
We're going to record part 3 of Phantasy Star 4, which I am... It's going to be a tough episode.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really tough episode.
Okay.
So much to talk about.
Oh, to fit it all in 3 parts?
Just to try to fit it in 3 parts. I do not want to do a 4-parter. There's a part of me that is like, I'm like walking that razor thin edge right now where it's like, we'll just fuck around on part 3. Like, I'm so close to that. Because it's just like...
I've got so much shit to do, I'm just going to take a nap.
Yes! It's that exactly. It's that 100%. I'm so glad that you know that feel. It can't be just us, right?
No.
I can't tell you how many papers I didn't write because I just decided to go to sleep instead. And it's like, you can't explain that to a teacher. You can't explain, well, I had 4 papers to write, so I wrote 3 and took a nap. Yeah. Writing none. That's a better idea. I like that. I'm scrolling through our messages. We've got a lot. All right, here we go. Here is our first call. This is from Taryn, it looks like. Did we end on a cliffhanger last time from Taryn? Because I remember she called. It was morning, and we assumed that she was probably drunk. Even though she explicitly said that she was not. There's another call from her the same day. Google Translate starts out, I remembered it. So we'll see what this is all about. Let's see, her call's not coming through. I don't know why.
I remembered it.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't get the calls to work. I don't know why.
That's okay.
So, no, I can't do a call. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We'll work it out later.
I'll have to figure out
big
what's
deal.
going on with the board. I don't know. It sucks, though, because I got nothing in the waveform.
Okay, so sorry about that. We'll get that fixed.
Or we won't.
Or we won't.
I'll take a nap.
Let's see. And then thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on SoundCloud. Yes, SoundCloud. That was renewed.
Yeah.
So we kept that.
Yeah, we rebought that.
iTunes, Stitcher. So don't miss the next episode. Phantasy Star 4,
Part 3, baby.
The grand finale.
Back in the saddle.
Let's see. Hey, you can find our shirts on Amazon. Search for TADPOG. You can help us out. You give us a 5-star review on iTunes. I feel like it's been so long. What else do I normally say?
We have a P.O. box.
Oh, yes. So if you want to send us anything, please send that to, especially postcards, please send that to TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002.
We have a postcard here.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
going to hand over to you.
It is from Austin, Texas. It is what looks like a trailer. I'm going to assume this is from Taryn. I'm going to assume. Flip it over. Oh, yes, it is. Just one of the many weird galleries you can find in Austin, Texas. Fun fact, in many areas of Austin, women are allowed to be topless. Love Taryn. I've always wanted to go to Austin. Topless parts of the town or not.
I was going to say, just to be topless.
Just, yeah, I'm not going to be topless enough, so I need to go to Austin.
Here in Kentucky. There is a stretch of road in Kentucky where, and it's actually a road that's very close to my house and leads to your house, where I feel like I've seen the most shirtless men I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, that road.
And I've lived near a beach at Florida, and there's still just more shirtless men here.
It's like a bunch of Randy from Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah,
allergic to shirts, so they just don't wear them.
Yes, 100%. So that was a museum that the postcard was from? Is that what she said?
Many weird galleries.
Oh, it's a gallery.
Guess, is that an art gallery?
I guess so.
Okay.
Is there a name for it anywhere?
Old
Gallery World.
Well, it says Old South and then Austin on the top. I guess it's just a kitsch collection of whatever's in this trailer.
When you decide to go to Austin, let me know.
Okay.
Because I've wanted to go to Austin too for a while.
Yeah.
Because I've heard really good things.
Could do a live from Austin.
Yeah, we could. Hey, look, if we can fill a theater, yeah, you bet.
Or just fill Taryn's
apartment. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how big our living quarters are, but we could probably get like, I don't know, like 50 people in there, right, Taryn?
Yeah. Or her couch has 3 seats, $200 a piece, tickets for the TADPOG live show.
Let's see. We've also got a Patreon.
Mhm.
If you enjoyed listening to this and like to give us money, that is the place where you can do it. I'd like to take a moment to thank some people who have recently donated at patreon.com/tadpog. Micah Purdue just recently upped his pledge. Riding that penny train, of course. I'd like to thank Platinum member Brett Miller for upping his donation. Also riding that penny train. Magical Sleeper. Riding that nickel train strong. Riding it till we ain't got no more give. And then I've got, let's see, Exalted Lord Micah Purdue again. Riding that penny train once more. Tadpog, Santa Jack, Ziggy Moons, Akemi. Riding that penny train. Thank you for the whistle. And we've got, let's see, Joseph E. Willard III, our very own Trash Bear. That one sounded sick. Let's see. That sounded, Snuffy did not want to get off that train. There we go. That's better. Riding that penny train as well. Let's see if we got anything else. Nope, not for now. And that'll get us caught up to Wednesday as well, which is good because that's going to be just fucking cram packed with Phantasy Star 4 or naps. I haven't decided yet.
So you got to tap on Instagram, @tapog_podcast. You said the Patreon. If you want to call and text us, do you say the phone number?
I did not. That is 270-883-2555. And then we'll probably have things figured out on the board. Or calls are over. I'll just read what Google Translate says for each call.
So how would you have to close this out?
Like Grover? Like the monster at the end of the book?
So
yeah, it's a
much.
good book.
So much as a kid.
Yeah. No, it's a good.
Shit.
I love it as an adult.
I have
It's a
my
good book.
original, and
Do you
Ken
really?
has it in her room from
Nice.
when I was her age.
Henry's got one of mine. He's got Where's Willie
Oh
Work?
no! Please don't turn this page.
I bet Ernie wouldn't turn the page.
Ernie, elbow, Ernie. Kenna, you're not French. Quit it. Ernie, Ernie and Bert.
Je suis la joue, Ernie.
Yes, we love you, pomfret, Ernie.
Did you say French fry? I even forgot.
What do you want at McDonald's? Pomfret. Quit it. Quit it. You're two.
I forgot what Grover sounds like, so I'm gonna do my best.
Okay. So until next time.
Capricorn!
I'm sure we are both awful.
You should look up whether you actually.
I'm sure we are both awful.
You should look up whether you actually.